What do they say? Fail to plan, plan to fail. Fail to plan, plan to fail. If you don't plan out your day, you will not win the day. If you don't win the day, you don't win the week. You don't win the week. You don't win the month. You don't win the quarter. You don't win the year. You got to plan out your best year one day at a time. You can spend time reflecting, just like you are right now, reflecting on 2021. What lessons are you going to carry into 2022? In 2022, where are you looking? So you got to be looking in the front windshield way more than you look in the rearview mirror.
This is Lunch with the Punch.
Hey guys, this is Dustin with Lunch with the Punch podcast, and I'm super excited for today's episode. I got a special guest, a dear friend, and let me go and give you a rundown on who this man is and what he has accomplished. All right, so my guest today is the coach of many high-level athletes, including NFL legend Drew Brees. He's the owner of Fitness Quest 10 in San Diego. He's the host of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. He was a coach and competitor on NBC Strong. He's a speaker that travels the globe. He speaks to coaches, leaders, companies, and teams. The author of many best-selling books, including Get Your Mind Right. He's the leader of the Mind Right Maniacs, a friend, a mentor, and he's always in the lab creating something. And so that's why I asked him to be on this show. Todd Durkin, welcome to the show, my friend.
Dustin, thank you for the intro. It's great to be on the show. First time, so I appreciate all that you do for the fitness industry as well. Thank you.
And you know what? This is all the coaches and gym owners around the world giving you a round of applause because of how much you do the industry. So yeah, man, I'm excited to have you. So, again, we've connected recently and you even came and spoke to my team, which was awesome. A full day of impact. And, we're in California, you're in California. It just made sense. And that was awesome. And, one of your gifts is you always stretch people to think bigger. And that's one of the topics I wanted to kind of bring you on today and talk about is this new project. All right. The maniac went in the lab, the mad scientist came out and he's got something he's whipped up. So it is the Size Planner Gsd. So I wanted to ask you, how did this even come into your mind? How did you think of it? Where did the idea get stemmed from?
Well, the God Size Dreams Planner, honestly, is something I've been working on for 10 plus years, because at the end of every year and the beginning of each new year, I've been planning sometimes 10, 15 hours in those last couple of weeks and beginning of the weeks of the new year for over a decade. And I've shared that with my mastermind for the decade. And I'm getting more and more people that say, hey, I want to get your planner, your annual roadmap and strategic plan, as I had called it in the past. And this is the first year that I'm actually sharing I'm calling God Size Dreams Planner. And say how it all stemmed is, honestly, it was a mentor of mine many years ago. His name was Wayne Cotton. And this is probably 15, 20 years ago. If you want your dreams to come true and you want to live at a bigger level, a larger level, you need to put it on paper. You need to get your dreams on paper. You need to get that clarity on paper. You need to work on yourself more than you are. And that's when it all started. And it's gotten deeper and deeper and deeper every year. So I'm pumped to share it. It was because people requested that they wanted to see not just my annual strategic plan and the questions that I use myself and share with those who I coach, but also what happens, Dustin, get into in today's show, if you would like. It really comes down to, once you have your dreams for whatever you want in your business or your life or your relationships, your money, whatever it is how do you then fulfill it? How do you make it happen? Like, there are systems. It's not just, hey, let's dream and put it on paper and it's magically going to happen. Then you've got to reverse engineer that. And that's what the GSD is all about. And when someone says, well, what is the GSD? I believe that your dreams have to supersede you. They got to be bigger than yourself. You want to set dreams and visions for yourself that you have no idea how the heck you're going to fulfill them. And you're going to need a support system and encouragement and cheerleaders along the way. And there's got to be some divine intervention. Some of these, what I call BSAGs, big, scary, audacious goals, allowing us to get to where we want to be.
All right. And, before somebody even plots that down, what if the thing that's stopping them from even putting that big goal or dream they have in their head is, like, let's say this person is suffering from crippling self-limiting beliefs. It could be they doubt that they have the skills or the knowledge or the ability to get there, or they have fears. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? Oh my God, now I'm being responsible for this giant God-sized dream. And then just the worries, like, again, the what ifs, what if this happens? How do you like coach somebody through self-limiting beliefs?
Yeah, it's 4 words. Get your mind right.
Yes, I like it.
Right. Like, you know what? Just say, what if someone's got those leads? That is most people. When you ask a question, like, what stands in most people's way? It's you. We stand in our own way. Typically, it's us. It's our head trash. It's our stinking thinking. It's not taking the time out for us. We put everyone else first. We put our families first. We put our clients first. We put our darn members first. Everyone goes before us. And then you sink and drown because you haven't put time into you that you need to help your family, to help your friends, to help your colleagues, your coworkers, your teammates, to help your clients and the members. It's typically us. It is us that gets in the way. Is this thinking. And that's why it's imperative, especially this time of the year, end of the year, the beginning of a new year. It's now is the time to actually work on you more than ever before.
Yeah, I love that. So what's the first step? So now, again, they've set these giant dreams, these big goals. Should they be sharing it with the people in their life? Should they create an action plan? What's step 1 after you set your dreams?
Honestly, the first is, let's say they haven't set their dreams. Maybe they're just, maybe right now you're working out or you're doing some end of the year review. The first step is in your calendar this week. Listen to this episode is to actually carve out 1 to up to 3 hours, maybe a half a day to work on your strategic plan for you. That's the first, because you've got to actually carve out in your schedule specific time to put everything on paper. That's on you. Why? Well, because when you put it on paper, that's more likely to happen. The second thing, and they go hand in hand, Dustin, is get outside in nature, take some time away and get in a workout and let your mind flow and go. As you all listen to this live right now, I'm going to be in the mountains of Montana the last week of December. So as we record this just before Christmas, this is hopefully coming out before New Year's, I'll be in Montana. I'm going deeper on my own GSD right now in Montana, because the last week of the year and the first of the new year, it is go time. It is time to dream as you possibly can, to get the juices flowing, to get the spirits, stir. All of these things are important. So the first step is get in nature, let your mind go, let your heart sing, let your soul, really just unleash. And then once you do that, then sit down. And I'll give you 3 things without even having the planner. Number 1, view your past year, look at it. And I've got in the 5 questions I pose in the planner, several of them are, what are the top lessons learned in 2021? What are the things that, you really, when you look at experiences, your top experiences, what was on your big 5 for 2021 that happened? What didn't happen? Why didn't it happen? When you start reflecting on the last year, there's a lot of value and also a lot of gratitude. Because I keep saying, are you broken or you blessed? A lot of people are broken now, Dustin. There's a lot of brokenness. I think every one of us has some brokenness in us because of just the past year or 2. It's like 5, but it's the gratitude of who and what is in our life right now. And it does take some butt glue to sit down for an hour or 2 to reflect on 2021. And then as we look at 2022, to really get amped up and to look at the questions for 2022 of, what's coming up as well, and 13 questions on 2022 on all levels of your life.
Yeah. And I found, it's very revealing, because sometimes we can just get busy to run from the feelings of what we will feel when we be still.
Correct.
And so people will pile on more and more, and they'll use that excuse, I'm so busy. And the minute they get stuff, opened up on their schedule, they'll pile more on. And it's almost like they're running from something. And what I like that you're sharing is it forces somebody to sit and look in the mirror and say, what's going on inside? Why are you thinking that? Why are you feeling that? Confront yourself. And then how can you make your life better? How can we, take action on these big dreams? And one of the things that I love about the planner is you put a mountain on there. And I know you do that strategically because you love the mountains, but it also is because, hey, that is a God-sized dream, a mountain. And that's what your dream is going to feel like, is this gigantic thing. How do you move something that's like that, right? And so how do you climb a mountain? And it's one step at a time. And I know that that's what, you're outlining with your planner.
No, and if you're listening and not watching, if you're listening, I'm holding up the GSD planner. It's a mountain I took a picture in Montana, when I was there in October. And I love mountains, always have. I find that's the one place, Dustin, I can find solitude. I can get away and not think about work. And all of a sudden, when I tap into the subconscious mind, all of a sudden I start having dreams unleashed. What's important is whether you like the beach, you like the lake, you like the mountain, you like snowshoeing or water skiing, whatever that you love to do, is that you spend some time doing that. I like to go out in the mountains, get some hiking in the mountains, skiing. I'll come home. I actually put these noise canceling headphones on my head and I start to write. I'll tune out the world into the inside, and I'll start to answer the questions that allow me to channel that energy or spirit into the paper, which brings it to more life. So when you asked earlier on, what do you then share it with your family or loved ones? Yes. But the first step is we got to get it on paper and really go deep. And sometimes that takes several hours of work on your last year, this year, and even looking forward to life, the next 3 to 5 years, next 10 years, some scary stuff like, hey, look at your life looking forward. What does that look like? Now is the time. This time of the year is the best time to really start fresh and look at, hey, for the next 365 days, what's the year you want to create? And while we can't create and we can't control all the things that will happen, we can certainly have a roadmap that will allow us to have a direction of where we're going and where do we allocate our energy and focus and time on so we can get done what needs to get done.
So I have a question for you, Todd. What do you think stops people from dreaming bigger and really thinking that it's possible for them to achieve these God-sized dreams?
Well, I think one thing is honestly a plan. Like the questions that I pose in the planner, I've been working for over a decade of specific questions that bring that out. So I don't think there's a shortage of dreams. I think it's like, oh, I don't have a dream. I want to be a millionaire, or I want to have great health, or have a great business, or I want to have 100 new clients. I don't think there's a shortage of thoughts or visions or dreams, but how do you execute that? The plan of how do you do that? The purpose of the planner is to essentially guide you or coach you through a book per se of actually working on it. And the first step in the planner, the first step is the actual annual strategic plan. So I think one thing that stops people is it's not, they don't have big ideas, big dreams. Getting on paper, taking the time out to work on you, and then reverse engineering, how is that going to happen? Down to the questions will go, okay, here's what I have to focus on today and in this hour. That's what the planner is all about. So I would say it's a plan.
Yes, I love that. And would you say that this planner, is it for anybody, or is it more for business? Is it for coaches? Who's the right person for this? It
is for anyone who wants to have more clarity, focus, and results in their life. I mean, it really is. Again, I've been sharing this in my mastermind for a decade, and it's evolved quite a bit in that 10 years. But what happened is all my clients at Fitness Quest 10 wanted it. So I'm gifting it to a bunch of my clients. People in the outside world were seeing it on my social media that I'm working on it, and they're like, hey, I get that. So this is the first year that I'm actually making it. Matter of fact, I've always had what I call the annual strategic plan. I've had that, but I never had the planner that I shared with the rest of my people. So I'm an old school guy. I have everything in it down old school. And although I do have a calendar, I'm old school. I like to write things down, cross them off, all that stuff. So we've got the plan. And then in that, everything from your big 5 for the year of what are those 5 you're going to create, down into your quarterly planning, down into your monthly planning with your 10 forms of wealth and 3 and 30, into the weekly strategy of what you do every week. Like I have a system that I use every week into every day of how you control your time and energy so that you can be like, oh, is your energy always crazy? No, I follow my system that has been, developed over the last 25 years. And that allows me to get done what I want to focus on based on my divine purpose, based on my God-sized dream. And that takes time for me to get some quiet time, to pray about it, to meditate on it and say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing so that my energy and my purpose is most aligned, so that I have a sense of harmony on the inside. If I'm just doing something because I think it's going to make a lot of money, if it doesn't align with really my divine purpose, then there's going to be an incongruence, if it makes sense, of I'm spending a lot of time, energy, money on creating something that really doesn't fire me up. So my hope is the GSD planner, it allows you to focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on and gives you the plan on how to execute what you either have said that you want to be doing, or it draws out of you your deepest thoughts, vision, dreams that you want to execute.
Love it. And I know you even have a system, like a color code system, of how somebody should structure their days, their weeks, their months, whether it's mellow, yellow time, et cetera. Could you go into that? Because I think that that's a very helpful way for people to look at the ways they can divide up their time and structure it.
One of the things that I have really lived by in the last 10 years or so, and it's gotten more and more deep in the last several years. My mentor Cotton taught me his system, and it's at nobrowndays.com, nobrowndays.com. It's a color-coded calendar system that allows you to look at 4 colors of your life. Every day you look and say, what color am I in? There's green, blue, red, and yellow. So green is green machine. So if you're a trainer, you're a coach, it's when you're actually making money, when you're training somebody, or you've got members coming in, you got a class you're conducting. It's when you're generating revenue. Blue is blue sky time. Blue sky time is, again, as you listen to this, if you're end of December here, I'll be in Montana on blue sky time and mellow yellow time. Blue sky is when you actually allocate working on your business and your life. The Size Dreams Planner is blue sky time. This is blue sky to the max. That's why the cover is blue. And then yellow is yellow time. And mellow yellow time is energy. And you want to have more vibrant energy, you need more time off. So the more time off you have in your life to revitalize, rejuvenate, and even recalibrate sometimes, that allows you more green machine. So I'll be getting mellow yellow time family this week. And I encourage most people at the end of the year to make sure your energy is revved up. The problem is in 2021, like myself, I was shot many times this year because I wasn't getting enough mellow yellow time. Even though there's not a lot of work, it was all the mental energy and how do you figure this out and how do you members out and mask on, mask off, close, no close. It's like, man, can we just do our jobs, please? Can we just train? Mellow yellow time is more important than ever. And the red tape is administrative tasks. It's, tidying up things. Now's a great time to get rid of files or to purge your closets of old clothes. And that's all red tape type stuff. I hate red tape. I'm not good at red tape. I am not good at it. I'm not the most organized person in the world. I love blue sky time. I love mellow yellow time, and I love green machine time. The key with all of this is the more blue sky time you get, the mellow yellow time you get, the more green machine happens. What happens for most of us is we say we want to make more money. Great. So we work harder and harder, and soon our energy goes way down and it wanes. We've got to be able to sprint, stop, mellow yellow, sprint, stop, mellow yellow, blue sky, sprint, blue sky, mellow. So the mellow yellow and the blue sky time is really a key aspect of that. And again, my friend Wayne Cotton, who's really impacted me heavily, and he's not even in our fitness industry. He's just a friend who by happen, chance or not, into my life in the late 90s. And again, that's something that has always been a part of my life, at least in my fitness career.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it. And I know a lot of people will really resonate with that. And I love that. Yeah, you're saying this time of the year is the time of the year to slow down, like take a breather, pour into yourself, because especially if you're in the fitness industry, January will be that green light. It will be go. And the pendulum swings back when it kind of slows down for some in December. So that was going to be how I wanted to bring up a story you shared with us, me and my team, that I just thought was phenomenal, which is the speed up button. and how you were coaching a client and how that went. So if you kind of set the stage and share that story, I think that'll be good for people to hear. This is how you want things to go when January hits, right?
Yeah, no doubt. It's my man, David Jeremiah, Dr. J. I call him Dr. J, who's 81 years old, one of the most famous pastors on the planet. He was training with me a while back, and he always comes in early. I have him at 7. He comes in early and walks on the treadmill. And I get there early because I don't know if anyone listening has these clients that sometimes you think that I should be paying him for the wisdom he provides me. That's Dr. J for me. I mean, he has so much life wisdom and business wisdom. And I get there early to that session so I could talk to him for his 15, 20 minutes while I treadmill before our session. And this one day, he's telling me a fascinating story. And as he's telling me the story, the head and body is getting closer and closer to the treadmill, walking. And what I didn't realize as he's walking, the thing I know, he starts to kick into this jog. I'm like, Pastor never jogs. All of a sudden, his jog turns into a sprint. I see his eyes looking ahead and his look of terror and fear come across his face. I'm like, what is he doing? He's flying. I look down, he's at 7.2 miles an hour. He's 80, at that time, 80 years old. And I'm like, what is he doing? What's he doing? I didn't realize, Dustin, as he's telling me this story, I'm leaning in and my elbow is on the speed up button of the Woodway treadmill. And the belt is flying faster and faster. I had to pull the cord. I've never had to pull the cord. I had to pull the cord out of the treadmill to stop it. And fortunately, he was so upset he couldn't yell at me or fire me. And he takes a break. He didn't face plant and get a microdermabrasion on his face, thank God. And next thing I know, he's out of breath. The next day, he comes in. He goes, hey, I want to thank you for yesterday. I mean, thank me for yesterday. Dr. J, what are you talking about when I almost killed you? He said, you know what? I was thinking about that. He goes, you know what you did to me yesterday? He goes, you hit my speed up button. You hit my speed up button. And I didn't even know I could still do that. I never tried to jog, let alone run or sprint again. I didn't know I could do that. He said, I got to thank you because sometimes you need someone else to hit the speed up button in life. And that's what you did to me today. You remembered me. I'm like, Doc, that's why I get paid the big bucks. Right? Like, it was just one of those moments where I was like, wow, that guy could have literally been so ticked off and he could have said, I'm done. You almost killed me. Instead, he turned it around and perspective was, you actually found something in me that I didn't know I had. Oh, guys, I did not plan to do that. That just happened. And can probably relate and laugh because you've probably done some dumb things too in your career around the block for a while. But it was just one of those moments about perspective and mindset. And, talk about get your mind right. For him, it was, hey, I didn't know I could still do that. And right now, sometimes you have to slow down in order to speed up. And the point of the planner is slow down to get ready to speed up, because real soon, maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's next week, we're going to have to put the foot on the accelerator and got to go. We got to go into 2022 sprinting. We got to go into 2022 with new life and new vibrance and start to put all this other stuff behind us. What is that? What are we focusing on? You can spend time reflecting, just like you are right now, reflecting on 2021. What lessons are you going to carry into 2022? In 2022, where are you looking? And what I would like to say is look at the mountains. I'm going up the mountain. And that's what we got to be doing right now. Where are you going? So put it on paper. What are the big 5 things you do in 2022? And it doesn't all have to be business. It might be a trip or an exchange you want to have with your family. Guess what? That's going to take money. You got to generate that with your business. So what do you got to do with your business to make sure that you generate the kind of cash or revenue or profit that you want to and need to with your business to get where you want to go with your personal life? So you got to be looking in the front windshield way more than you look in the rearview mirror.
Love it. Love it. And yeah, I mean, I think a big thing that comes up is complacency. Like if we go to the gym and we do the same reps and we jog at the same speed, sometimes even coaches need coaches. Like someone might know their way around the gym, but you're not seeing any results. You're not feeling challenged. You want to hire an outside coach to come and train you. And then suddenly you see those results start kicking in. Well, hey, the same with your business. If you just sell enough to make what you need to pay your bills, and then you kind of take your foot off the gas pedal and, that complacency can work against you. And then the other thing is like, hey, we can get busy with our life and our to-dos. And like you mentioned, the red tape or just the distractions or something changes with regulations or just, some sort of fire in your business. Reverting back and looking back at your planner is going to remind you of that North Star. What is the end goal of December of next year that I set out to achieve this year? And, it just brings you back home. It's kind of like that reset on your goals. Because again, a lot of people can lose that when they get caught up in the busyness of day to day and week to week type of situations. So yeah.
Dustin, what I would say, and you're right on. So here's what I'm excited for about the planner. And this is how I live my life. People get all jacked up and fired up about the new year. Awesome. Me too. There's been years I sit down for 15 to 20 years and plan everything out. And I go into the year fired up. But what I did with the plan is this, so you can all have a realistic expectation. Number one, you commit to changing. So if you are complacent or you get complacent after, let's say, a few weeks or a month and you settle into your habits or your routine you've been accustomed to, is this. You got to start with that strategic plan. You sit that tail down for 1 to 3 hours and get done what needs to get done. But then every quarter, I got my 90-day wonder. The 90-day wonder is ideally, it's a 1 day every 90 days. In the beginning of the quarter, you sit down, you work on your business, you work on your life. And that's the 90-day wonder. And I pose it all in along with your quarterly financial review. So every 90 days, 1 day to get blue sky time in 90 days. Now I take 3, but I'm asking you for 1 day out of 90, get your blue sky time. Then once a month, I need you to spend at least an hour doing 2 things, in the planner, your 10 forms of wealth and your 3 and 30. Forms of wealth is going to take you all of about 3 minutes to fill out my 10 forms of wealth, the circle of wealth, and then your 3 and 30. And your 3 and 30 are going to be an exercise I'll lead you through every month to really hone in on this month. Here's what I'm going to focus on, right? So if you do your 10 forms of wealth and 3 and 30 every month, it's going to take you 60 to 90 minutes once a month to have focus that month. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. The week. Once a week, minimum 20 minutes. I do it on Sunday. I spend about an hour not only looking back on the last week, but also looking forward to this week. Now, in my WLAGs that I do, the WLAGs are going to relate to your 3 and 30, your forms of wealth, your 90-day wonder, and your annual strategic plan. So when you do your WLAGs every week, typically on a Sunday, you could on Monday morning, but I like to get Monday morning. I wake up and I'm going, I know what I'm after, all the way down to the day. And that's what the planner really allows you to do. It's not just your strategic plan right now, end of December, early January. It's, okay, here's the system down to the day. And what I did based on feedback in my mastermind is I started the actual planner, if you see this, at 5 a.m. Most planners start at like 7 or 8 o'clock. This starts at 5 a.m. because most trainers are going to probably start at 5 a.m. Even if it's a wake up call at 5, I'm going to do my prayer time or my meditation time, and it ends at 10 o'clock. Now, I'm not expecting you to work till 10 o'clock, but I'm even saying at 9 o'clock, you might say ramp up personal care, 10 o'clock bedtime, so that you can plan out your day. What do they say? Fail the plan to fail. Fail the plan to fail. If you don't plan out your day, you will not win the day. If you don't win the day, you don't win the week, you don't win the month, you don't win the quarter, you don't win the year. So you got to plan out your best year 1 day at a time. That's why in the planner, every single day, you've got your WLAGs, and then you've got for the week, and then you've got entire week from 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. And I don't care if it's down to 8 o'clock, you have the opportunity to say reading 10 pages, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever. And it gives you the specific roadmap per se that will allow you to live your best year now.
And that is the most productive way to end and bookend your days, the beginning and the end. People will fall asleep in the couch, watching Netflix or just scrolling social media till they fall asleep in bed. And it's like, you kind of just have this like conk out moment, and then you don't feel very good. Where this makes you feel amazing, and it helps you to see the progress. And I love that, again, it's broken down from the year to the quarter to the month to the day. It's almost like bumpers that they have at the bowling alley. You might get distracted, but this will keep you within those bumpers. So boom, you hit a strike and you achieve those goals. And so I would say, hey, if people want to purchase this thing or get a hold of you and order a batch for their team, or if they want to just buy one for themselves, where's the best place to get this, Todd?
Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com, obviously, and just put in God's Dreams Planner, Todd Durkin, or you can go to my website, todddurkin.com as well. A batch, go to todddurkin.com on that if you want, 5, 10. The batches the bundles start at 10. So if you want to get your teammates, your coworkers, or your members or clients, if you 10 or more, you get a discount on that. But Todd.com, or if you want to get it, you just get 1 or 2, just go to Amazon. You'll get that in a couple of days if you're a Prime member. But what I'm excited for about this, Dustin, is one of the things in talking to a lot of trainers and coaches, I think there's no shortage again of people who want to do for their clients and members. What I see is a lot of trainers and coaches work tails off from 5 a.m. and sometimes the schedule looks like it's cheese, and at the end of the day they're exhausted and tired. What I want to be able to do is make sure that as you work your tail off and you're working hard to help other people live better lives as well, that you're setting yourself up for success this year and for the long term in your life about what do you want to achieve in your life. And we have these questions in here in part 3 of that is your life. What do you want to be remembered for? What are the big 5 things that you want to have your life about? And now these are deep questions, and they entail some thought process that you go for a walk on the beach, or you get out and you put your skull cap on and you're going to go for a walk around the lake with a blizzard or whatever. Like this entails some deep thought. But I always found this, in order to live your life, it's going to take some work on yourself. And the GSD planner is going to allow you to start that process of, restructuring your own time, energy, focus, and even your resources so that you can be the productive man or woman that you want to be.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. This is amazing. I'm super excited for people to hear about this and get this planner for themselves so they can achieve their dreams. And if they want to just follow you and see what's going on in your world, what's the best place to go? How should they follow you?
Instagram at Todd Durkin probably is I Instagram on my feed and stories all the time. Obviously, todddurkin.com. I do put out quite a bit of content on the email. So if you sign up for a newsletter, just go to todddurkin.com and you can sign up there. We'll say is this, Dustin, there's tremendous opportunity in our fitness industry here in 2022. And whether you get a planner or not, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, the world needs more game changers and life transformers out there. The world is beaten right now. The world is dark. What we don't want to have happen is that you get beaten or you get dark on the inside as well, because you get drowned out in all pity and darkness, sadness, and depression that exists right now. What we want to make sure happens is you could put this light inside of you, not around you, but inside of you that shines, this beacon of light that shines out. You got to protect your energy never before. And it's going to entail planning to do that. It's going to entail working out. It's going to entail getting your mind right. All of these things. But there's tremendous opportunity. I mean, not just on the trade, but on recovery side, on life coaching, on like helping coach people, not just with their bodies, but with their minds and their spirits and their careers and all aspects. So tremendous opportunity in our industry. And I think those who can really get clarity or more clarity that they want right now, 2022 can really be a strong year because of where you're at. So don't feel like, man, Todd, you have no idea. I'm hurting. I get it. So am I sometimes. So Dustin, all of us are. But as a coach, as a life transformer, we got to fight like hell to make sure our habits are buttoned up and we're held into our habits. So right now, if the holidays beat you up, get your stuff back in line, clean it up, and let's go. 2022 is almost here. And I can't wait. Personally, I can't wait for 2022. I'm excited to get back on the road again. I'm excited to get back live again. I mean, there's some things, my GSDs are percolating. I'm working on this as we speak, by the way. I can't say, hey, here's my 8 GSDs. I know several of them, probably like you. I don't know if you know your GSDs yet, but man, that's what fires me up.
All right.
What are your GSDs, Dustin? What do you got going?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm the same way. We kind of were forced to slow down the fitness industry, and now I'm ready to speed up. So, definitely GSDs are things like running a live event, connecting with just more people on this podcast, and grow my businesses, of course. And then I want to also challenge myself to try new things. I do stay in my comfort zone. So I'm going to try like archery and going hunting and going horseback riding with my daughter and, jujitsu and just like, get out of my comfort zone. I don't always have to do weightlifting and just the things that I know. So I just want to explore. That's my word of the year is explore. So I'm excited to explore new things. So
good. That's one of my questions in the planner is what's your theme? What's your theme for this year? So if your theme is explore, one of the words I'm considering, again, I'm not done with my plan yet. One of the words I'm considering is energy. I want to have an event, and maybe it's yours, Dustin, where we just have the most enigmatic energy that people get revived on the inside. Like it doesn't even matter. I don't even know what people might be like, I know what I want. I just need energy. Okay, then let's come together for a revival and let's work out. Let's laugh. Let's have experience. Let's just get together and create and manifest some crazy, awesome, positive energy. So like that to me is resonating right now is energy. The world needs it. We need it. I need it. You need it. We all need it. So I'm strongly considering that word energy with the GSD on that. So to me, I'm with you on live events. I cannot wait to get back to doing some live events. And it's weird now. I don't know if you've experienced this. I've done a few here after yours, Dustin, in the corporate world side of fitness. And there's some people that are still in trepidation. They're living in fear. I don't know if y'all have experienced this yet. Even, back here in California here at the end of December, like masks are on, like, what the hell are we doing? People are like, oh my God, do I need to? Folks, focus on what you can focus on. Let's get healthier. Let's get better. And let's get together live. Let's get together live. Don't live in a comfort zone, a cocoon in your room, your office, home, living in fear that, we got to be isolating ourselves. Humans are not designed to be isolated.
Yeah, totally love that. We're tribal. We're meant to be together. We're meant to connect. True. And the computer screens don't cut it. You have to be with somebody to feel that energy. So I'm with you, man. Let's bring more energy to the world. If that's the call to action to all gym owners, coaches, and fit pros around the world. Let's really change the energy in things and make our world a better place because of the energy we bring to the scenario, right?
Let me know when your live event is. We'll create some ripples across the universe.
Make the magic happen. All right. Well, Todd, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And I look forward to having you back as a repeated guest, man, because I love connecting with you.
Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for all you do as well, my friend.
Thank you.